Boston Celtics get the easy win, which is nice, but the rebounding still a big problem. Joe Mazzulla was not happy about that at all. You'll hear it. It's right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Beantown, be ever ready. It's the C's. Who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT. Karalis recap the madness every game, every practice. Primetime Depp and D White on the sideline. Raining Jays, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. Your team is the Boston Celtics, and I talk about them Monday through Friday, bonus podcasts when they play on weekends. So make sure you're subscribed to this free show. It's available everywhere. It's on YouTube. You can get into the comment section, share your thoughts with your fellow everydayers, people who are with me every Monday through Friday. And with me, I'm John Karalis, beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. I've been covering the Celtics in some way, shape, or form for about 20 years now, and I've also written a couple of books about the team. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers right now, you bet $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com today, right now, to get started. All right, later on, we'll get into some of the negatives player-wise. Baylor Scheierman is among those on the list. The positives in the second segment, just player-wise, again, Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, Anfernee Simons are standouts. Josh Minot as well. But I want to start, look, the Celtics, they win, right? It's 138-107. You win by 31 points in any way. It doesn't matter, preseason, whatever. You win by 31 points, you generally feel like, okay, come away with it, you feel good. And a lot of people are here to celebrate this win, and sure, celebrate a win. You win by 30, that's a good thing. However, my first bullet point here, if you're watching on YouTube, it says another non-test. This is the thing that bugs me about this game. I was so looking forward to this. I wanted to see the Celtics against the best team in the East for a quarter, for a half, whatever it was. I wanted to see the Celtics against a team that could challenge them, that could test them. I wanted to see how bad it would be, how good it would be, because I know the Celtics have issues. I know that they need to work on some things. I wanted to see how far behind are they really? Where does this front court stand against an elite front court, an elite team like the Cleveland Cavaliers? I want to see what Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley would do against these bigs. I wanted to see it. I wanted to know. And we didn't get any of that because once again, all of those guys were unavailable. Jarrett Allen, not with the team. Lonzo Ball, Darius Garland, he's hurt. DeAndre Hunter, Sam Merrill, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Max Strus, he's hurt. All of those guys not playing, not with the team, not even in town. So starting lineup, Jaylen, Tyson, Dean Wade, Larry Nance Jr., Tyrese Proctor, Craig Porter Jr., going up against the mostly, I think, starting lineup, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, Derrick White, Chris Boucher instead of Neemias Queta. So, intrigue. We'll get to that in the third segment. I feel like, once again, the Celtics showed some deficiencies. Their obvious deficiency is in the rebounding. And if they played a good team or a capable team, it would have really, really hurt them. Listen to these numbers. I don't understand how this game was this much of a blowout. The Cavs took 102 shots. The Celtics took 82. When you get outshot by 20 field goal attempts, it is hard to win. Never mind hard to win by 31 points. The Cavs shot so poorly, 36 of 102. The reason why you get that many shots up is to account for the potential for a bad shooting night. They had the worst shooting night, 12 of 60 from 3, 36 of 102. The Celtics shot 43 of 82, 18 of 45 from 3. So 52.5% from the field overall, 40% from 3. That's how you pile up a ton of points. The Celtics not only should not have won by 31, they really should have lost this game given that they gave up 102 points. I mean, 102 shots. and 63 pointers. Any reasonably okay shooting night would have changed the entire complexion of this game in a big, big way. But the Celtics were able to, and they got to the line a lot. 34 free throws made to 23 free throws made. So they were aggressive. The offense, again, I'm not really worried about the Celtics offensively this year. I think they're going to be fine offensively. They'll have some nights where they suck. They'll have some nights where they put up 138 points. And that's going to be how this season goes. I think their offense will be just fine. Their defense, I think, is going to be a problem, mostly because of the rebounding. The Celtics had 39 defensive rebounds. The Cavs missed 66 shots. You'll hear me ask this question of Joe Mazzulla because he was pretty pissed off about this rebounding. Very clearly, he was not happy about it. In fact, let's play the clip. It's two questions. It's two questions for me, a follow-up question that I edited out the middle parts, but here's Joe Mazzulla on the rebounding. Joe, they missed 66 shots. You guys finished with 39 defensive rebounds. It's third straight game where you're somewhere in the 60%, 60-something percent range. What do you see as a solution for the defensive rebounding?
Just keep playing. Find guys that will rebound.
Is like, do the wings have to do more? Do you need to see more crash? What's the philosophy there as far as like wings crashing and stuff like that?
Find five guys to rebound.
With the rebounding, like to Karalis, you said find five guys. What are you seeing?
Find five guys that will rebound.
But what are you seeing?
I don't see five guys rebound. So then I go get five, and they rebound. It's that simple. Doesn't matter about wings, bigs, doesn't matter. Find five guys that will rebound, go. It's that simple.
It's that simple. It's funny. He very clearly was not in the best mood. I don't know if he didn't want to deal with us. I don't know what it was, but he was not in the best mood afterwards. There's a whole thing. You're probably going to see it if you're online at all on any social media of him going off about a question about the 3-pointers, which I thought the question was fine. I think it might have been a little bit of an overreaction from Joe. But regardless, he was not, I think, in the best of moods. Okay, fine. The rebounding part here, find five guys that'll rebound. This is going to be the biggest issue. If the real Cavs played in this game, this would not have been it might have been a 31-point loss. And I know I sound like really negative about a win, but that's not what the preseason is about, right? If this was a regular season game, I'd have maybe a different approach to this podcast, but this was not great because it's Joe. I wish there was a leaderboard for how many substitutions a coach made per game, because Joe was going every time someone missed the rebound, another guy comes in. Someone else missed a rebound, he's out. Get him out. I'm sitting there at the game watching, and like Simons missed, gave up an offensive rebound. He just turns around, points to the guy. He's like, "Go get him, just go get him." And it just was a carousel throughout the whole game. They did kind of manage it a little bit better later, but this is a problem. And you're going to give up some offensive rebounds. The best teams in the league are going to rebound somewhere in the high 70% range. The Celtics in this game were 60.5%. They are in the, I think, 60 over 3 games. It's like somewhere around 63%, which would have been dead last in the league last year by a mile, by multiple percentage points. And again, this is against the G League versions. These are G Leaguers. These are end of bench guys. These are guys that aren't going to get much burn over the regular season. And yeah, they're probably playing hard and a lot of the effort because these guys are trying to make a name for themselves. There's a lot more effort. And so that leads to some offensive rebounds, but box out, crash. Everybody has to crash. Derrick White had 7 rebounds to lead the Celtics. Josh Minott had 6. Peyton Pritchard had 5. Those were your rebounding leaders. Luka Garza had 5. He's the only big in there that got 5. Jaylen got 5. Boucher got 2. Who else is in there? Xavier Tillman got 1. Nimi got 4. So he actually rebounded at a decent rate. But this is going to be a killer. This is going to be a killer this year. It's going to be a big problem if they cannot fix this. And part of it is effort. As Joe said, I didn't play that part of the clip, but some of it is technique. It's about getting in there and boxing out. It's about reading where the ball is coming off the rim, right? The Dennis Rodman from the Michael Jordan documentary. Oh, it comes this way, bang, I'm going this way. It comes this way, boom, I'm over here. You got to read the angles. You got to understand where the ball is most likely to go and then be there. So there's some of that. There's some learning of that, but effort, go, rebound. You got to rebound. The Celtics could not get away with giving up 102 field goal attempts. That is a crazy number. The Celtics should be taking 100 field goal attempts by playing fast. The pace was good. There are positives. I swear I will talk about positive things when I come back, including Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, Anfernee Simons. All of that is coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus. Powered by Peloton IQ, it's their most advanced equipment yet. Designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move. Whether you're running, whether you're lifting, whether you're cross-training, you have your favorite instructors right there on the Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus. It's training reimagined. It's built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, and reach peak performance. It offers real-time strength coaching. It can track your reps. It can suggest the right weights and corrects your form to make every rep safer and smarter. Think about this. You've got a guide to help you in real time. The proper weight, proper form is going to help you make your gains. Don't just go out there and pick up the heaviest thing. The swivel screen is a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. And the personalized class recommendations keep you engaged. Also very important. You get workouts tailored to your vibe and energy level each week. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game in the association covered 7 days a week on Locked On NBA Game Night. And also Locked On NBA. They're both in the same feed. The Locked On NBA afternoon show, more debate style, covering all the big topics in the league. All right, this is a win. The Celtics made it look easy. I know that they were playing nobody. No disrespect intended to the people who did play, but look, they were playing their regulars, and they were playing their regulars against the back end of the Cleveland roster. So they got a big performance. It started out with Peyton Pritchard. He had at one point it was 12-7. Peyton Pritchard leading by 5 early in the first quarter. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. One thing I really liked about Pritchard is he was one of the guys that was boxing out. When Joe goes over that film on Monday, he's going to go in there and he's going to show, here's Peyton Pritchard boxing out. The smallest blankety blank on the team is in there mixing it up. And I would expect that's Pritchard's MO, right? He's going to get in there and mix it up. But I thought Pritchard did a good job, and he's in there grabbing 5 rebounds. That's what the Celtics are going to need. They're going to need that rebounding from Pritchard, White, and Brown, but they're going to need it from everybody. Like Sam Hauser needs, get in there. Boucher starting at center. He does not want to play center, but he was in there starting at center. He needs to grab some rebounds. Everybody needs to grab some rebounds, but Pritchard did a great job. I thought he was really good. Anfernee Simons obviously was, I would say, the star of the game with a team high 21 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3. just looking more natural, looking more like himself. It's, I think, going to be a little bit more of a work in progress with him playing next to Jaylen, next to Derrick, Peyton, all of those guys. He did come in to for Derrick, so he subbed in for Derrick White. But he's going to have to figure out quickly how to play with those guys, play fast, still be himself to a degree. And it was a question that I asked Joe pregame, and it's hard to find this balance, but you've got guys like, Simons and Pritchard are probably your two most isolation heavy guys. Pritchard is a big isolation guy. But for Simons to play in that fast-paced style, he has to adjust his game a little bit. You want guys to be themselves. You want guys to fit into the system. So there's a little give and take there, and I think that's just going to take a little time to smooth out. But he's a big-time shot maker, and you saw him taking those shots. I'm just curious where in the play fast, move the ball, move yourself, screen, cut, all of that stuff, where Simons fits, or if it just becomes, hey, when Simons is in the game, it's kind of let him cook, and you find ways to just let him be himself off the bench, knowing that Pritchard is going to, if he's a starter for the entirety of the season, that Pritchard is going to be the guy that kind of is able to fit in more and do what he needs to do. I don't know how that's going to impact everything. Pritchard getting in there for that 14-5 is nice in 23 minutes. I feel like Pritchard would probably be a better scorer off the bench, but it's between him and Simons. Like, who do you want being the guy that carries the bench unit scoring wise? It's probably going to be Simons. He's a better scorer overall, but Pritchard could kind of rise to that occasion if he was kind of playing more isolation chances. So, but for now, Pritchard looked good, and it was interesting because Jaylen didn't really try to score. He only took 6 shots in the game. He didn't score until 4 minutes to go in the first half. So I think Jaylen might have been just like not quite as aggressive. He did lead the Celtics with 6 assists. So he might have been just trying to kind of facilitate a little bit more, but Pritchard was good. Simons was good. Derrick White was like, this is the exact kind of game where you look at Derrick White and you say, of course he's going to be fine. I might be most excited to see what kind of season Derrick White has. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. Come on. Again, I know it's against lesser competition, but he, in 22 minutes, just easy work for Derrick. Josh Minot, same thing. And another guy, 16.6 rebounds, a steal, an assist, 2 of 5 from 3. I'm not a fan of his shot. I'm not a fan of his jumper at all. But a couple of them fell. He got an and one on one of them. So good for him. Doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to go in, and they went in enough in this game for Minot, who is kind of feasting, but he's one of the guys that I really was hoping could get the minutes against real elite level offensive players. I wanted to see Minot go up again, like switch on to Donovan Mitchell. Let's see what you got. Switch on to some of these guys. Switch on to Evan Mobley. What do you got defensively? Let's see what you can do against a team that is going to compete for a championship. I appreciate that he's having these games against whomever it is. You still have to perform no matter who's in front of you, but I want to see how much of it is real. He's had good preseasons before. So I don't want to be fooled by, he's really just playing great against lesser competition, and against the better competition, he's going to struggle. I think the stuff that he's doing is translatable against everybody, but I still need to see it. I kind of want some proof. So, yeah, I thought he was good. I want to give Jaylen. I kind of brushed past Jaylen. I'm going to go back to Jaylen just because he had a second quarter stretch there where that second quarter was actually really good. He had there were 3 straight baskets where he got assists. He had a couple of steals. He got a steal and a dunk on one of them. He had a stretch where it was like he showed his aggressiveness. He kind of had a little bit of a takeover stretch, and you say, okay, this is the Jaylen Brown that we know. So it makes me feel like the beginning of the game was a little bit more just, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back. I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to try to get you guys all involved, knowing that Jaylen doesn't really need the preseason. He's fine. I still don't know why he's wearing that shirt, but that one sleeve thing does anybody know? I guess it's my job, right? I gotta figure it. I gotta ask him, but he wasn't available. And then shout out the Celtics defense in the third quarter. They had a stretch of 7 steals in the third quarter. It's really good. It's really good. All right. Negatives. Baylor Scheierman rebounding. Nemish Queta, not necessarily the game that he had, but how much time he spent on the floor. That's coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. NFL season is here. FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers, you bet $5. You can get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I'd say put $5 on the Patriots to win, especially with next week's Tennessee. Tennessee's not good. Vrabel going back to Tennessee. Yeah, maybe $5 on the Patriots to win if you want to make that your first bet. And there you go. 300 in bonus bets on top of whatever money you win. But I'm sure they're going to be favored, so you're not going to win much. But it's more about getting that 300 that you can use to build parlays, player props. You can follow live lines, you bet on Drake May's touchdown passes or whatever. So you can get the games get a little bit more exciting when you get a little skin in the game. So whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. Make sure you're using their budgeting tools. Set your limit. Set that budget so you know if you have a cold streak, it pops in, it stops you, and you're gambling responsibly. Go to FanDuel.com right now to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Today's show is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all of their financial accounts or even what they're worth. You kind of know-ish, but with Monarch Money, you'll know exactly. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool. It brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface. It's on your laptop. It's on your phone. So you can keep track of everything. You're busy. I'm busy. So if you're like me, you kind of put things off a little bit. I am a procrastinator. Monarch is definitely going to help you out. It does the heavy lifting. You take a few minutes, you link all of your accounts, and then you get the data visuals. You get the smart categorization of your spending. You can feel in control of your money, and you never have to touch a dreaded spreadsheet. So if you aren't saving as much as you thought, if you want to maximize your investments, if you want to increase your savings rate, you want to get your partner's finances involved too, so you get a bigger picture, it's all available there so you can keep a clear view of your financial health week to week or long term, whatever. Don't let a financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Josh Lloyd will help you win your league. He's got all the information. Josh is the GOAT. If you're heavy into that fantasy basketball and you're not listening to Josh Lloyd, you don't want to win. So go check him out. He's going to help you with daily, multiple times a day he's posting. It's crazy. So he's the GOAT. Go check him out. All right, let's wrap up this podcast with the negatives. The rebounding is a big negative. I will say the positives are on offensive rebounding. They're really good at crashing the offensive boards. They're just not doing the dirty work on the defensive end. And like Joe said, bigs, wings, they have to figure things out, but everybody has to figure things out. And it makes me wonder if that's why Neemias Queta he barely played. And it's hard to say why, because Joe could easily be like, well, we don't need to see Queta. So he played 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And we're all sitting there in press row going, what happened? Did he do something? Say he's not playing at all. And you could easily be like, well, you're playing a faster, version of the Cavs. Maybe you wanted to, maybe you didn't like the matchup, or maybe you just wanted to see Boucher, or maybe you just wanted to see other guys. So it may be nothing, but also it may be something. And it's hard to say. He looked kind of sloppy when he first got in, but he did get in and get a couple of rebounds. It wasn't all negative as far as this game went. He was okay in this game, but I thought that Queta would be part of the starting lineup, and I thought this would be the opportunity to get him some more reps with these guys. If you're going to play fast and you're going to play Queta, you have to get him used to that speed, not just in practice. Practice is fine. Game speed is different. No matter, you cannot simulate game speed in practice. You can't. No matter what you do, guys can run as fast as they can. Game speed is different. So I thought that he would play more, but we didn't see much of him. And so I'm just curious as to why. I have Baylor Scheierman in my negatives, 1 for 5 in this game. I'm just starting to wonder about his shooting at the NBA level. He was great in the G League, and so I'm kind of like hanging my hat on that. Shooting from that distance is shooting from that distance, and it doesn't matter. So he has the reputation as a good shooter. We've seen him be a good shooter at a certain professional level. Now I want to see it at this level. Now, we saw it in a few games last year, a couple of games where he was like, okay, he hit a few shots. I know he's capable of it. And so I'm not out on Baylor at this point, but I've never really been a fan of how his NBA 3-point shot looks. Sometimes it looks like he's really forcing and pushing, and it's not only is he searching for his shot, like I just don't like the way his shot looks. He missed one shot, man, from where I sit by the player tunnel. It's like he was shooting right at me, and I can't explain his form, but I can just tell you that it looked out of line. His hand did this weird kind of it was not a straight follow through. Listen, when you shoot, your arm is basically a sort of catapult pushing the ball towards the rim. Your arm is a tool to push the ball. You're not just shooting it. You're creating a force that propels the ball at a certain height with a certain spin on the ball, so it can land softly. If it hits the rim, it can bounce a certain way. That's when your follow through is like straight, you're propelling the ball and it comes off your fingertip, usually the middle finger. It comes off that fingertip and spins, and it's just one smooth motion. When that follow through is like all over the place, that ball has no chance of going in. Well, it has a chance, I guess, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. He's a good shooter, but that looked ugly. It was terrible. It was gross to watch. Some guys have bad form or not your classic form, and the shot goes in. You think of the classic case of Reggie Miller. But even Reggie, at the point of release, it's like a golf swing and a basketball jump shot. Very good close comparisons. Because you're doing the same thing. You're basically trying to repeat the same motion over and over and over again, creating a motion that is easily repeatable. And all that matters In golf, when that club face hits the ball, it's hitting it square, right? If all that matters in a jump shot is when you release the ball and it's coming off your fingers, that it's lined up with the hoop and the release is pure, right? If your elbow's out or something, like it's very difficult to get a repeatable shot that can go in consistently. Some guys can do it. It's a weird thing, and somehow they figure something out where it goes and it works. So I can't just say your shot looks terrible and change it. He's not going to change it. But sometimes I just think that sometimes his shot, I don't know if it's in his head. It just leaves him. I've seen him shoot well, and you're like, the follow through is good. And sometimes, and I think this one, he knew it. He kind of like yelled at himself. It's weird. So I don't know what's going on with Baylor Scheierman and his shot, but he couldn't hit a damn thing in summer league. He's struggling to find consistency this preseason. And at some point you got to look at it and be like, is this going to come back at all? Because if it does, great. And I'm not expressing major concern over it. I'm just saying that I'm not sure about this right now. If he can find it, he can be a great contributor to this team. I think Baylor Scheierman is good enough to be in the rotation, but not like this. Not like this. I gotta be remiss if I didn't shout out Wendell Moore's dunk. 30 seconds to go. Big poster dunk. Shout out to Wendell Moore. That was incredible. That was like, I was packing up my stuff and I just look up and he's got that thing cocked back and it was just boom. You're like, whoa, that was, that was shocking. So I don't know. I come away from this game with like this. And I admit, part of it is I'm just pissed that we didn't get a real game for any stretch of this. I don't want the first real opponent to be the Sixers because that's just going to be a little bit of a culture shock. Even if Embiid doesn't play or Paul George doesn't play, it's just going to be a culture shock. Even if Tyrese Maxey is the best player that they put on the floor, that's still going to be like the best player that the Celtics will have faced by a mile. So this preseason we're not learning a whole lot from this preseason. And so I'm upset about that. And it's just, I've been kind of like down. This game took too long. The rebounding is awful. So I come out of this game, I'm just like, okay, 31-point win. Kind of result is kind of meaningless, but got to fix that rebounding though. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll take another look at this game. The Celtics do practice on Monday, so I'll share what they said at practice, and then we'll see. Celtics next game is Wednesday. That's the last preseason game. I'll get some mailbag questions in. JohnKaralis.com/mailbag to submit your questions. Do that. Get into the comment section. Share your thoughts about this game. And then share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.